Man.
And can you date somebody that's got totally opposite political views than you have?
It's tough because, I've been talking about politics with my man for the last couple of weeks. And his vibe is just not as excited as mine, as mine.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about breaking up with him all week. So I don't know. I can't really say, it's going to get real weird come November in my house. I'm just being honest. It's like, okay, everybody's able to have a difference of opinion. Everybody's able to make an educated decision. But I don't know if I can ride with you this November. This election just will seem a little too important to play with.
Here's my thing. I just want to know why y'all just started talking about this.
Because a black woman woman is running.
Y'all been together 15 years.
Who been together 15 years?
You and your man.
We've been together 15
20 years.
Seems like it.
If you are just if it takes an election for you to figure out the way that your partner thinks about politics and different things like that, man, you should have been having them conversations.
Yeah.
I don't want to be unaligned with my partner, you know what I'm saying, on major things, religion, politics, you know what I'm saying, all those type of things, the way we're going to raise a child. But those are some conversations that you should have and kind of know their way of thinking. Now, we don't have to think exactly the same, but if you just now having a conversation just because Kamala became the nominee or because Trump is running or for whatever reason, you was doing this relationship wrong anyway.
I
like this one. Very different. This is very important. When it comes to political views, I think you're supposed to have that conversation early in the game when y'all first start dating or go on the first date, because this is the reason. I know they always mention it. A lot of people say they never talk about religion and politics when you're on the date, but I think those conversations it should have like later on down the line when if you guys pretty much having potential to become serious is to have political views. And not me, I love a woman that understands politics and that I know politics as well. And not even that, if she don't really know politics and like eager to learn about it and don't have to come on my route, because to be honest, I'm independent anyway. I'm not neither Democrat or Republican. I do what makes sense for the country. So it's good to have those deep type conversations. And also when it comes to religion too and spirituality, I think it brings you closer together. But now I know right now, because this is election year, it is going to be a lot of division within the household, because there's a lot of women say, hey, I'm not going for Trump, I'm going for all women. So I know it's going to be a lot of battle going on. But to me, it's good as a husband to listen to your wife's side of point of view and see, okay, why are you going for Kamala Harris? Does it make sense? Does it make sense for our family? Because now it's a family involved, because she said they've been together over 20 years? 20 years, yep. I think so. So I think it's very important to have a sit-down, hard talk at that dinner table and say, hey, baby, why are you going for Kamala Harris? You know her policies suck. No, because her policies say this, and that. I think it's going to bring you guys closer together. I think it makes the relationship even stronger when you have two sides that have different point of views. I think, to me, I don't have an issue with that. Along we all could come together at the end of the day at that table and to agree, I'm all for it. Go ahead again.
Before you go out, I sent a gift out. So Pretty Pink, she's a new Chaos Culture supporter. So
Pink? You get Pink? How you get Pink again?
I just give out gifts. Somebody accepted and she accepted.
The gift, George just give out gifts. The gifts just keep on coming. Look at Hakeem. She's a member.
I'm a giftful person. This shows you I'm a giftful person. Now I like to give gifts.
Shout out to Pink for being the Chaos Culture Radio family. Great to have you, my sister. Go ahead, Hakeem.
I want to say it's a fundamental thing to start talking about this thing as early as the first conversation you have with somebody. I think political views does play a major part in a relationship. It also aligns with your personal views and ideology.
Yes.
If you are conservative and she is more progressive, then she might be pro-life. You might be pro-life. She might be pro-woman. She might be my body's my choice. These things will conflict. She might be for abortion. You might not be. You might be not for the immigration. She might come from an immigrant family. These things do conflict at dinner tables and at that. The problem is we're so clouded with sex and love when everyday today living starts to creep in. Some women grew up in a very middle class to upper class household. A lot of us grew up in poverty. there's a different perspective come from there. And you know what I mean? Unbeknownst to them, people who come from an upper class, they might say they're Democrat, but they're more leaning towards being Republican if you've done well for yourself. You know what I mean? So it is important. I personally like to have these conversations with women. So I want to know where we align at to be like, hey, are you okay with how I am? You know what I mean? I'm not a Trump supporter, but I am a conservative and I might lean to conservative views.
Quick question, I keep before Jordan go, because I know you say you date women that have opposite side of political views. How do it always turn out during the dinner table
Oh,
when you have conversation
we've
with them?
always had issues. Always had issues. I've always had to agree with what they want. And they said that I'm stupid for thinking the way I think.
Why they always say stupid? Why they always use
Yeah,
stupid?
I don't know why they say that.
Why does it say don't say ignorant?
Because they say because here's the thing.
Because there might be somebody just like another person like her like King that might think they might have had a good same religious views, but might be on the other side.
Listen here. Listen here. It's like saying being equally yoked.
Okay.
And sometimes we try to avoid those things. And a lots of times we see this in many relationships. A lot of us do not have conversations, but it starts to hit hard when real major things starts to happen in your life. Kids, healthcare, and these things. And your opinions that are leaning towards left or right start to come, and it starts to be troubling for that person. So me, I've always been conservative my whole life. Most men are, and they always have an issue. They say I need to grow up a little more. When you tell them I wasn't raised like this, and this says okay that you have to change who you are as a person overnight. She said if you're gonna be with me, you have to think the way I think. That's impossible.
Yeah, good point. When it comes to me being, with my wife 15 years, we do have conversation. It's like we do have conversations like this. It doesn't get like really combative and everything. Sometimes we agree on some things, sometimes we don't. We usually basically look at, what's the city's doing for us. The mayor, the treasurer, what the city. We talk about that. Also about the state of California with the governor and everything. What's going on, with housing and everything like that, also with views as well, and also right now as when it comes to the government, the federal, the presidential election and everything. So me, I kind of lean maybe an independent. Well, I was to say I'm no party affiliated. I'm all about what are the policies, especially for us as Black people. So if you're not doing anything to say for us, I might not vote for you. I look at other candidates as well, because it's not just Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. It's also Cornel Wells. He's an independent, and also Robert Kennedy as well. And then also there's a blank sheet to write somebody else in, yourself or whatever, and then yourself or somebody else. And also my wife, she's more Democrat in a way. I would say like I could see her leaning a little off it a little bit, but she's big on Kamala Harris and her policy and everything, which is totally fine, and that's what it looks like she might vote for. But it's cool and everything. Yeah. When it comes to political things, it is definitely important, because if you find somebody that might be the opposite of you, it's a likely chance that's not gonna work out. Because it's always gonna be when it comes to certain stuff that's going on in the government, or certain stuff that might go on in your state or city, it's going to be something that you guys going to disagree or disagree with. And usually that relationship will not sustain, and usually, it'll be over with. So yeah, like I said, I think it's important, and make sure, every, 5 years and 10 years, watch when relationship, you might think differently what you was maybe five, when you was younger as well. So, like I said, once you get older, sometimes your political ideas might be the same, or just might switch and everything. But the thing is like, you shouldn't be mad with somebody if you've been with somebody for 20, 30, 10, 20, or 30 years, if they have a change of thought about, of a policy that they like or dislike, or a person that wants to run for your country or city, whatever, and that person feels some type of way, you should have not called this man stupid or ashamed and everything, because you just see how, hey, my partner, is growing, she's, things that she didn't thought about the past, she's thinking about totally different now. and it's okay. You know, people can have a change of thought of switching parties. You know, having political ideas. It's okay to switch. You know, choose what you want to. You know, at the end of the day, we're still American. We're still American. You know, we all want to see our country be successful as well. You know, make sure we have money in our pocket. You know, that's what America is all about. You know, capitalism. So, end of the day, you know, we're all Americans. You know, we all have different thoughts about what's going on in the country and everything. Also, with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. At the end of the day, we're still Americans. Even though you know you might be Democrat, Independent, no party, Republican, whatever. This thing that you guys know, we're all Americans, and you know it's always when it comes to conversations like this, make sure we respect people's views. It might be different from you. You might not like it, hate it. You might call that man stupid or everything. But at the end of the day, that's what that person's view is, and he has the right to change his mind or not. Exactly as you have the right to change your mind or not. So that's what I think about, you know, when it comes to political relationships.
No, but I think political relationship. I think because some people say normally the relationship don't turn out well because you have two people with different point of views. I think it can turn out very well because at the same time, y'all, like I said, y'all can bring your ideas to the table and say, hey, do research on Donald Trump, you do research on Kamala Harris, and then we'll come together at the end and we'll talk about it. And who knows, you might change the other person's ideology or change the person's mind, or the person might change your mind. But I would think it makes the relationship more spicy. That's why I love intelligent type conversation where that we could be like, okay, go do research on this, and I go do research on that, and then we come together. To me, I love those type of relationships. To me, I think those are healthy type relationships, and I think it makes relationship more spicy to me. But you know, some people